So last month, somebody commented on one of my videos and asked me to share my opinion on ABA therapy because I made a brief video about it. And I'm a high school junior, and I recently wrote a research paper discussing ABA therapy and why I believe it should be banned, so I'm glad to do that. Let's begin with some history. First, applied behavioral analysis was founded by Dr. Ivar Lovaas in the 1970s as a way of making autistic children appear indistinguishable from their peers, in his own words. Upon researching his treatment program for these children, it became abundantly clear to me that his goal was not to accommodate these children into society, but rather to force them to appear neurotypical by making them make eye contact, hug people, use verbal communication, things that could be uncomfortable for them. In order to gain compliance from these children, he would often physically abuse them, slapping them and using aversive shock therapy on them, and a lot of disabled children were abused under his care. Now, one major argument people use for ABA therapy is saying that that was the old ABA therapy, and that is no longer used today. And although I wish that was true, unfortunately it's not. The Judge Rottenberg Educational Center is a place that houses people with developmental disabilities, mainly autism, and they have been known to use aversive shock therapy on their patients as a punishment for undesirable behaviors. Here's a list of some of the undesirable behaviors that they punish with aversive shock therapy. And the FDA actually banned this as a form of torture, but then JRC went to the Supreme Court and fought against this, and they actually won. So they are able to use aversive shock therapy on their patients to this day. Furthermore, the Association for Behavioral Analysis actually invited JRC to their annual meeting in 2019, praised their program, and said that aversive shock therapy is acceptable in some cases. To me, this just proves that although the vast majority of ABA therapists are not permitted to use aversive shock therapy on their patients, they would be willing participants in the physical abuse of disabled children, and they are uninterested in condemning those who are. Also, applied behavioral analysis has been known to cause PTSD among its patients. Roughly 46% of those exposed to it developed PTSD as a direct result of it. This article right here does a very good job of explaining why this phenomenon occurs and why this practice is so dangerous. Now, I do want to make it clear that I am not in any way blaming the parents who put their children through ABA therapy, because I do understand that when your child is diagnosed with autism at a young age, you will be bombarded with medical professionals telling you that you need to, pursue ABA therapy for your child, and so they genuinely believe that they are acting in their child's best interest. I understand that. I think that parents, they must listen to autistic people, especially those who have been through ABA therapy before they do this, just to prevent this abuse from happening to their child. So I'm making this video not to offend anybody, not to call anybody a bad parent, but just to educate.